From 1987 to 2025, 38 years have passed since we had The Running Man. Arnold Schwarzenegger's one of his top hits is now a remake with Edgar Wright and Glen Powell. Let's talk about it, spoiler free.
This is Popcorn for Breakfast, presented by St. Louis Area Smoothie Kings. Now, here are your hosts, Cam and Kurt.
Welcome back to Popcorn for Breakfast, the spoiler-free movie review podcast, video cast, blog cast. Is that a thing, Cam?
No, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll stick with podcasts, though. I question it every day. I'm always like, is it? I mean, we do a lot of YouTube. Mm-hmm. Is it still a podcast, or is it just Popcorn for Breakfast?
What are we? Well, today we're going to be a movement, I feel like, literally, because we are reviewing The Running Man, and we will be running strictly for the next 35 minutes, the entire runtime of this episode.
Yeah, we got those
Cam,
under the desk treadmill things, and we're just going to go.
Yep, I'm just going to leave right now. Okay.
Okay, go.
Just kidding, I don't want to.
Yeah, and I don't have those treadmill things, though. I want one. They're really cool.
They are very cool. The original Cam, I've seen it. You've seen it. We have a special guest with us today. Let's ask if he's seen it.
Let's ask him, yeah.
Stefano, are you here in the room with us?
I am here. Hello.
Welcome. How are you, Stefano?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I got asked, have you seen the original 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man?
No, haven't.
Ooh, okay.
Lucky. I don't like that movie. I saw some people on Reddit defending it after I watched it, and I kind of get where they're coming from. Like, this was like peak Arnold time, you know, where he was kind of like,
it's Arnold time.
Exactly. But it was like kind of, you know, it was like everybody was in on the joke. You know, that period of time where like the Fast and the Furious became its own genre, and against which to judge movies, and then each Fast and the Furious movie, we're like, well, that's kind of a good Fast and the Furious movie, even though it's not a good movie. I feel like Arnold had a similar thing where he just like was in on the joke almost a little bit, and this was like the peak of that. Like, I felt like that movie was like, let's see if we can create a new Arnold one-liner, and they just threw as many of them out there as possible, and I don't think a single one stuck.
Like every other minute. The rate in which they tried to have it happen is insane. So I'm really hoping that there's some reflection of that here today. I was not able to make this screening, but Cam and Stefano were able to, and we're going to chat through in a very fun and very special way. We're going to go through with 3 different rounds where Cam and Stefano get to talk about whatever they want, whether it's the acting, the production, the one-liners, whatever they think that they want to bring up, they each will get to do so here in our 3-round new structure here. And we got cute names on the way. They're still in the works.
They are.
They're in this brain. They're in the pencils, they're in the notebooks, they're in the spreadsheets. You guys will hear it soon. So with that said, let's discuss spoiler-free The Running Man 2025, starring Glen Powell, Coleman, Domingo, Emilia Jones. Who else?
Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Michael Cera.
Whoa, I had no idea.
There's all kinds of friends in here. Yeah. All kinds.
I wasn't in it.
No. Oh, Lee Pace.
Who?
Lee Pace. Yeah, I mean, you would know him like I mean, I don't know. I guess he's more in like video game circles and like Star Wars circles, maybe.
I'm gonna get destroyed.
Cam just showed us his cards there.
Yeah, whoops. Sorry, I'm a huge nerd. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh goodness. Well, I hope I see the light after the comments come for me for Lee Pace, because I'm sure there will be.
Lord of the Rings.
What about Is he in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Oh, who is he?
He's the elf guy, right?
Is he
not? Let's just not. But he is in it, okay?
Let's continue. We'll fact check ourselves later. Who wants to go first today in this round, this 3-round robin?
Stefano does.
Stefano, you feeling it? You got your category ready to roll?
Yeah, my first category will just be Glen Powell. And because, you know, this movie was released, like a lot of the marketing that has come out for it has been, oh, come see Glen Powell in this. We're trying to make Glen Powell kind of that household name, the next Tom Cruise type situation. And this movie just did not do it for me in regards to the Glen Powell of cinema right now, I think. And, you know, Cam and I usually don't love to give each other our thoughts immediately after seeing a movie, especially if we're going to talk about it. But we both kind of just looked at each other and were like, "Oof, Glen Powell was not great in this." And a lot of it has to do with the writing and just the structure of the movie. But I also think it almost feels like they gave Edgar Wright, like, you have to make this movie and Glen Powell has to be in it, rather than trying to find the right fit for it. Because there's a lot to balance in regards to the way this movie was made. Maybe we'll get into it later about I haven't read the book, but I've read some excerpts from the book and know about the book enough to kind of feel like if it's faithful to the tone. And we'll get into that later, I'm sure. But Glen Powell kind of has to be an action star. He has to be a bit of a comedian. He has to be charming. He has to also have an edge to him. And I don't think he really, because he has to juggle so many of these aspects, I don't think he really nails any of them. I think it's a bit of a sleepwalk, to not come off as harsh as possible. But it was a little, lackluster for me. It's not like this didn't make me, if you were a Glen Powell, new to Glen Powell, I don't think this would really make you want to go, run to the theater to see the next Glen Powell movie.
That's a great point. I mean, you said everything that I am. I'm so confused why I wasn't asked to be in this role. You said charming. Can you say those adjectives again? You said charming, extremely handsome,
chiseled.
Funny. And his physique is on display for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
of course,
I could take my shirt off right now. Who wants?
But for a movie that the way it the way the movie plays out, it wants to have a big heart to it as well. But I'm just not getting enough from Glen Powell, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Cam, I'm sure, I don't know what your thoughts are on his performance.
I mean, I'll take it a step further, and it's nothing personal against Glen Powell at all. This is a bad performance. It's not just that he was not good. Like, he was bad. He was bad. He totally missed the boat, like, from beat one. Just wasn't aligned tonally with this script at all, and his character, like, he just was never there. So, and not only that, like, I know, Stefano, you kind of used, like, you said, like, sleepwalking. I felt like a lot of times it was really forced. Like, he was trying to tap into something emotional and something real, and there was nothing real there. There was nothing real to find to, like, give his character the kind of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not catharsis, but, like,
motivation, tactic.
Yeah, that. I was thinking, like, pathos or something, like you feel sorry for him, like, there was just nothing for you to look at this character and be like, yes, I connect with that character. I relate to that character. That character feels real. Didn't feel real at all to me.
It was really hard to buy his performance. Like, I just couldn't, mesh with it at all. And, Edgar Wright makes his movies in such a specific way. And he's one of those filmmakers that will have, some reoccurring actors and things like that. And it just feels like Glen Powell doesn't fit in an Edgar Wright universe movie. It just feels like a total disconnect.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I'm wondering what happened there. I don't know if it was like somebody's agent talked to somebody else's agent and they were like, we can make this happen if you do this, like Stefano said. I don't know. But it didn't work. So yeah, for my round one, building on that, it's the tone of this movie, which is a total misfire all around. I was expecting, you think of Edgar Wright, you think, he's pretty irreverent. Like he's silly. He's actually really good at tone the majority of the time and creating a unique tone for his film, especially if you think about, like, the Cornetto series, which is like the Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz at World's End, or The World's End. I don't remember what it's called.
Sure.
Those have such a unique, specific tone. I mean, even if you think about things like Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, or all these movies that Edgar Wright has built his name on, they have a very specific tone that's executed very precisely, and this was, like, all over the place. Like, it couldn't decide if it wanted to be in on the joke or if it wanted to be, like, serious. It couldn't decide if it wanted to have lots of heart or really lean more into, like, slapstick funny. Like, it just was a miss all the way around, and it made it so hard to connect to. And maybe that's, maybe it was the script that made it hard for Glen Powell to connect to this character, like giving him the benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe it just was like this, like, he couldn't figure out where he fits into this thing, but the tone did not work.
What I remember from the original movie is that there's not a lot of backstory to this lead character. This Ben Richards is the character's name. Do they give more of a grounding to this at all?
They do, and they lay it on pretty thick. Like the story is that like he's got a family and they're living in this dystopia. So if you remember from the first movie, it's like supposed to be like a, I don't know, not post-apocalyptic, but like a future dystopian kind of world.
Yeah, like everything is very sterile and everything is very robotic. They're trying to...
They didn't like execute it well in that movie, right? Like in this movie, they lean all the way into it. It feels more akin to something like a Judge Dredd or something like a, I don't know, like a, these are all bad examples. District 9, but you know what I mean?
Dredd's a good example.
Yeah, like something that's in the future. Things are bad. People are poor. It's
now. It's very realistic.
Well, actually, and this is kind of where I wanted to bring in the book, and I haven't read it, but the book actually takes place in 2025. Funny enough.
Shoot.
Oh, that's
stop
funny.
it.
And so it looks, from what I gathered, this adaptation plot wise is much truer to the source material than the Schwarzenegger film. But what I could gather, like I read through some pages just to get the tone and all that down, and it's just like, I don't know why, and I think it's because of the Schwarzenegger film, they decided to turn this material into like a quippy movie. Like the book reads like it's very dark. It is it's more akin to a 1984 where like the lead is a little more angry. And let me tell you, Glen Powell really tries to act angry, but it does not work at all. But it's more, I could see more of like oh my goodness, I don't even know. I'm just throwing out names because I like it, but like a Cillian Murphy, someone more scraggly, just kind of works in this type of scenario more. So I don't know. But yeah, the tone was off because they wanted it to be an Edgar Wright type movie. It almost felt like Diet Edgar Wright or like an Edgar Wright or like an Edgar Wright making a straight to Netflix movie. Like that's kind of like trying to get a bunch of things in there to appease a mass audience. Like the person next to me when the movie ended was like, "Oh, I thought that was great," and then Cam and I are just like, "No," But the tone was a huge part of that.
Yeah.
Well, tell me this before we move on to round 2. Glen Powell, I felt like when I watched it in the trailer, he was putting on his best Tom Cruise impersonation. Did you get any vibes of him trying to be like his mentor, Tom Cruise, at all?
I got vibes of him trying to be an action hero.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like trying to really lean into that and own that. So in that way, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's off the mark, man.
Okay.
Like if this was like the second or third project in a row that he had this issue, I would be like, that's career ending bad. Ooh. But it's, like it's not. This is strike 1-ish for him. Yeah. So like it'll be okay, but this was not a good one.
I didn't love Twisters, but I wouldn't say it was detrimental. His performance was fine. I think.
Yes, agree.
Yeah. And did he at any point sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like by accident?
No.
Okay, cool.
Remotely.
We can move on to round 2. Those were very pressing questions I had to get off my chest.
Glad you got those out of your system. Makes sense.
Moving on to round 2. Are we snaking or are we going straight back to Stefano?
What do we usually do? Snake. I think
we snaked last time.
We're going to snake to you,
it's
Cam.
To me. I'm going to go like I think where this movie does well is with the action set pieces. This is where it gets a little like zestier in terms of you can feel a little more of the Edgar Wright effect in it. There are 2 set pieces in particular. There's one where, if you remember from the original Running Man, there's like this resistance group that's like fighting against the whatever you call it, the authoritarian regime, the network, whatever. That undercurrent still very much in play here. So there's this one scene where he ends up linked up with somebody who's a part of that group, and they're like kind of in a Home Alone house, booby trap house situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Very cool, very snappy. It moves. Michael Cera is involved. Hilarity ensues. Like there's some good stuff. And then there's also another scene earlier on in the movie where he kind of like has his first near-death experience on the Running Man, where he has to kind of get creative, and there's everything you would want in a big action set piece. There's lots of ballistics, there's huge explosions, like big fireballs, lots of quick editing. And in those scenes, that's where I started to feel like, okay, it still wasn't like lean forward in your seat type material, but it was enough to be like, okay, there you are, Edgar Wright. I see you. Like, like your fingerprints are on this movie, and I can feel it. And it got me to the point where I wasn't like, I mean, there are large stretches of this movie where I'm like bored, you know,
Totally.
like legitimately, and it's an action movie, so that's not good. But in those sequences, I'm not, and those actually work. They don't excel, but they work.
Yeah, and I think like the Michael Cera sequence, I think is probably the best of the film. But it's like the rest around the first one you're talking about and that one just kind of feels like filler almost, you know, and it doesn't, you know, you don't. The reason, you know, we're able to kind of praise those sequences is because those are basically, it's like basically as exciting as it gets, you know. And unfortunately, like the better sequences aren't on like the tail end to kind of bring us home with something super memorable. And that was, you know, a bit of a bummer, but definitely agree with those two. Those were awesome.
Fantastic. Stefano, you have the mic.
I was considering I think I'll go with another positive, to sandwich it, right? So I think I really enjoyed some of the side performances. So, you know, some of the supporting cast, mainly two performances, one being Michael Cera's, you know, short stint in it, and then Coleman Domingo. Coleman Domingo is also one of those actors that you can give him like the ingredient list on a cake mix box and he'll make it work and exciting. And anything you give him is excellent. So he plays this role of like the Running Man TV show, game show host, and he kills it. He's hilarious. He's exciting. And the writing, like with the quippy writing we get here and there, it works best when it's coming out of Coleman Domingo's mouth. He's, you know, he's nailing the intonations well, and it makes more sense coming from him. Whereas when Glen Powell's trying to give us a one-liner, it doesn't work as much. So I enjoyed his performance a lot. He's also pretty scary. You know, he is running this game, not running the game show, but hosting a game show that is, you know, trying to get people killed for money and things like that. So I appreciated that from him. Michael Cera, you know, kind of plays Michael Cera. I enjoyed, you know, seeing him in there, but you know, you kind of get what you get with that. So I appreciated that. And I think without like Domingo and Michael Cera's, you know, portion of the movies, that I would be even harder on it than I already am.
That's good. I'm someone who the very first time I liked Coleman Domingo was in Sing Sing. I didn't like his other performances. I thought they were all like matched. But when I saw the trailer for this, I was like, this is a good fitting role.
Yeah, it fits him very well.
So in my opinion, I think he's been like flatly cast, not miscast in his other stuff. I think that he's just been waiting, and Sing Sing was absolutely stellar, incredible.
Totally.
I mean, should have won the Oscar. Like, he was so good.
I want Bond villain Coleman Domingo.
Oh, that'd be very fun.
Totally.
Don't you think he would crush that?
He totally would
crush that.
That's a great role for him. That's great. Someone called Bezos. You got him on speed
Yeah,
dial.
like, come on, man. That would be sick.
And tell me someone else that I got to ask you, because I'm a giant fan of Amelia Jones. She was in Coda. She was in Hulu's Cat Person. She was in this movie called Winner.
She was in Task. She was amazing in Task. The HBO Max show. If you haven't seen Task,
I've not seen. I saw a snippet of her. I watched the first episode. That's it.
Excellent.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
So was the character bad? Was she bad? Was both?
Both, I guess. It was
not good. It was not good.
What's was so jarring is not everybody would, you know, she's not a household name, but yeah. I was very aware that she is in the movie. So she's just not in it. And then she just kind of shows up, and it feels like they just kind of shoehorn this character in. And this 100%. Character also exists in the book from when I was doing my little research. And I just don't know if it's done in a different way, but it's just completely out of left field. She's like not given much to work with. She's just kind of, you know, there. She's not distractingly bad, but I wish there was more for her to do, because I do like her a lot.
Well, then I'm not going to watch it, because she's perfect. She's a perfect actor, in my opinion. For Love Lies Bleeding fans, Katie O'Brien's in this. For Shameless fans, William H. Macy is in this. For Dexter fans, David Zayas is in this. For Will and Grace, Sean Hayes is in this. You guys really buried the lead on how everyone is in this movie. This is crazy.
and there's all these folks in it, and they just don't get enough time to do anything. Okay. Like Sean Hayes has an awesome 30 seconds, which maybe that's the point of it. But it's just like, it's baffling that his name was high up. Like I was actually diligently looking at the intro credits, and it's like Sean Hayes was listed like 6th, and I'm like, oh man, I was excited that because I was like, oh, we're gonna get more Sean Hayes than I expected.
Yeah.
And no, we didn't. We got 30 to 40 seconds of Sean Hayes, but it was enjoyable. Josh Brolin, I love Josh Brolin.
I liked him in this.
He was good in this. Yeah, I forgot to bring up. He also like it's a similar character. You know, he can be a little. He's like an edgy bad guy here and there. He does a really good job in this. He always does.
He does. He's never gonna give a bad performance. I can't believe him sometimes. So let's go to round 3. Stefano, the mic is yours.
Yes. I'm not an expert on the subject, but I wanted to bring it up because since I'm not, and the fact that it distracted me is telling. I think a lot of the CGI and the was just kind of lazy and like undercooked in so much of it. I like there were because it's a game show, there's, you know, a lot of, you know, oh my goodness, you know, graphics from the TV show. There,
Yeah.
you know, there are cameras, so you have like the time on the, you know, on the video and all. There's so many visual aspects to this world, and all of it is like literally flat. Like it's so flat, and you're supposed to, you know, this is supposed to be futuristic, and I'm just getting like I feel like a 1980s version of this world, but with just like a little sharper and a little more technologically advanced, and it just felt super lazy to me. And I think there were also aspects where they just used CGI where they didn't need to. So there was the film had a lot of aspects of like graffiti because Glen Powell kind of becomes this fake revolutionary of sorts. And there's like graffiti around the city, and it's just so clearly CGI. And it's like, how hard is it to just, you know, use like wash away paint or just something to at least make it a little more believable? I just feel like I'm stuck in a blue. I can just picture Glen Powell standing in the middle of a blue room acting against nothing, and it just felt so flat. And I understand it's supposed to be dystopian, and but there's like little things like CGI flags that were like really ugly looking, and it's just so much of it felt cheap to me. And I feel like they had the resources at hand to make it look better or at least more engaging, where we can get a Tron Ares situation where it's like, well, not great, but at least it looked freaking amazing. This was not so good and also didn't look very good. So that's something I wanted to call out.
I agree, and I was looking forward to the world building in this because it was clear that they were like trying to make it look like a future dystopia, you know, unlike the first film, which is just like, it's the 80s, but different, you know, which was,
that's exactly
it was so weird, dude. The vibe of that film is so odd. But anyway, in this, like, it felt like there was an effort made, but it was just kind of a poor effort. Like there were cool elements, like there were good ideas.
It's just so fun.
I really got Kirk with that one.
Well,
It was too
80s, but it's different.
too accurate. It's fresh in my mind too because I just watched it today.
Oh, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so like I was looking forward to those elements, and they, like, to Stefano's point, like every time it's just kind of like, that's unfortunate. Okay, my last one, pacing. Bad. I don't really have anything else to say on this. This movie felt eternally long, like unmercifully long, and it builds to this big finale that you would expect in an action movie, but because the pacing is like so all over the place and just I guess not all over the place, just kind of like generally slow, it feels unearned. You know what I mean? Like there's already not that emotional tie-in where you can connect to it, but it also then it like they try to amp it up and be like, all right, here comes the big finish, and you're just kind of like, yeah, okay, like it doesn't, you guys didn't earn this. There's no, like, when it ended I was just kind of like, all right, well, I guess that's what you guys decided to do. That's fine. I didn't dig it. So yeah, I think the pacing really hurts it. 2 hours and 15 minutes for an action movie is already a kind of a bold choice in my opinion. I feel like most action movies, it's similar to horror where you got to keep people exhilarated. You got to keep people on a knife's edge. I think sub 2 hours is the best way to go, unless you've got tons of lore or like a world that people are really bought into, like a John Wick. Mm-hmm. It didn't work here.
Yeah. And I think that the intro, like the first 15 to 20 minutes is pretty laborious. And I think that when that ended and like the game show aspect started, I was like, all right, we got that out of the way. Like, here, like I'm feeling like we're gonna get some goodness here, and it just didn't happen. So totally feel you on that.
I just don't know how you make a movie called The Running Man and not make it one of the most exhilarating movies.
I agree.
I don't understand
Totally.
that.
Totally.
I think it's a decent concept too. I mean, it is admittedly like kind of hard to buy into a world, like a future world where like the TV networks are like running the world. I don't know. Like there's something weird there. Like it's stated to the government, which I get. Like, you know, there's lots of that. Like
we're
people
already
saying
living
that,
this.
yeah. But I mean, like the TV network and like these reality shows are like what everybody watches, and that just kind of doesn't happen anymore. Like
No.
I feel like the Hunger Games is a lot more believable version of this concept. Like you said in your Letterboxd review, the first one, like the Running Man, what did you say, walks so that the Hunger Games can run?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it. Yeah, I would rather watch the Hunger Games. I feel like that's more believable than this setup.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean, because in the Hunger Games, they're more like they're forced to kind of watch it and be part of it. Where here, it's like they kept talking about people watching and ratings, and it's like, people aren't watching. Exactly, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
right. Well, and the subject matter is very obviously akin to The Most Dangerous Game. We're hunting humans, right?
Yes.
That should be a home run every time.
I know it's high concept. It should work. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, I know you guys love this movie, so let's find out your last looks here, and I want to know your final score, final thoughts. Put it on with a bow. Let's go with Cam.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to your point, didn't really love this movie. I wanted to like it. I was excited to see an action movie. We've been at the St. Louis International Film Festival this weekend watching a lot of family dramas and heavy stuff, so I was kind of ready for something light. This one didn't do it for me. It didn't work. The tone was off right from beat one. I was, much like Stefano, like really hoping that it was just a rough start. You know, sometimes it's like they shoot the first scenes first and people aren't into their character. You know, like if they do the production that way, like they don't know what to do. And I was like, maybe it'll just kind of even out, and it just never does. It just never finds its footing. It never feels connected, and there's no way for you to reach out and feel like you connect with these characters in any way. It all feels artificial. It feels forced, and it just doesn't work. It feels kind of like Stefano was saying, like Edgar Wright light. It's like, yeah, like corporate. Like it feels ugly and just not overall good. So, yeah, I mean, there are, like I said, there are still some moments where you're like, you can see the Edgar Wrightness and you can enjoy little bits of it here and there. I mean, there are even like some of these little game show things where they show like some of the versions of the game show where it's like kind of funny. Yeah. But it's like they're so fleeting. There are some good, like, you know, it's a decent soundtrack. Edgar Wright always has like the nice needle drops in his movies. It's not bad on that front, but I don't think I can go higher than 3.8.
Whoa.
Yeah. I super did not love this one.
Wow.
And it was one of these situations where the movie started and I was like, okay, if it ended right now, this is like a 5.5.
Yeah.
And it just like kept going down. I was just like, you know, just like a descent into madness. Or maybe I'm just grumpy. I don't know, but 3.8 is where I'm at.
Wow. I'm very interested to see the comparison here. Stefano, take it away.
Yeah, a couple final thoughts, and I actually forgot to. This was probably going to be one of my rounds, but like the dialogue was kind of dreadful in a lot of this, and it's one of those scenarios where everybody is saying out loud what they are doing and thinking, literally almost everything. Glen Powell's in the movie like by himself for big chunks of time, and it's like, yes, we see what you're doing, and he's just telling us how he feels, and it's like, honestly, a version of this, like a much moodier version of this movie, like you know, Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive, you know, with Ryan Gosling. Like I see, and I even told Cam after the movie, honestly, a Ryan Gosling version of this movie might be more successful. But I just like imagine chunks of time where you just have a silent protagonist doing what he needs to do, rather than saying like, I really got to get out of here right now. You know, it's just like, ugh. It kills me.
I really got to run right now, man.
Like Cam was saying, there were some super funny side bits, but again, like, and not every movie needs to be life changing. But I just wish this was entertaining, and it also wasn't that. So, so my scale is definitely a little like nicer than Cam's. So my bottom of the barrel movies of the year are higher than that, but this is close to that for me. So I have this as a 4.9.
Okay. Wow.
That's pretty bad for you though, Stefano.
That's
to your
bad.
point. Like on your scale, like I don't know that I've seen you give out many 4 9s.
I've never seen you dip below 5, I don't think.
Yeah, like I think I like, for example, like I have Tron Ares a little higher than this.
I think I did have Tron below this. Didn't I get? I think I gave Tron.
I think Tron was in the 2s for me.
Yeah, I think it was in the 2s for you, and I think I gave it 3.5.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yikes. Well, gentlemen, that's it. That's The Running Man done. I feel like I need to leave and go see it immediately after those fantastic scores. But to each his own. Everyone has their own movie. Everyone has their own taste. We won't ridicule you. Maybe there was something that you really clung on to, like the people in Reddit from Running Man 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know why, but I disagree. Well, real quick, before we wrap up with all the niceties, was there a 10-minute 80s aerobic scene that introduced anything here?
There was not, but there was a wink to it that made me chuckle.
Okay,
like as they're introducing Coleman Domingo, it's like here's these dancers, and I was like, oh, here we go.
In the original, I kid you not, it is 10 minutes.
It's so long.
Like
it's so long.
It was so long. I think I fell asleep, woke back up, and it was still going on. And I'm like, whoa! Rewound it. Check. I mean, it's crazy. But you guys go see it. Check out the original The Running Man. Check out the new The Running Man hitting theaters in just a few days here. We're so happy that you joined us. Just a couple reminders that all of our stuff is everywhere. It's in the internet. It's in your ears. It's everywhere. We're so excited for you to listen to it, and you can check all of that out on our website at popcorn4breakfast.com. That's popcorn4breakfast.com. We've got videos on YouTube. We've got blogs on our website. We've got podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you can listen. Please like, heart, subscribe, and follow for more spoiler-free content. And we will see you guys very soon. A special thank you to our title sponsor, St. Louis Area. What are they called?
Smoothie Kings.
Smoothie Kings.
Well, there goes that.
I was so close. We just lost our sponsor.
Ching.
A special thank you to our executive producer and audio specialist, Ryan Spriggs, and the band Rhetoric for all the music you hear here. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.
See ya.